I was just going to talk to you all, and thank you so much for coming. This is so special. Okay. I guess what I want to talk about is why I'm doing this. And obviously, I guess some of you know that my brother has epilepsy and was diagnosed when he was 7 years old. And not to say that there's anything wrong with him. I guess as you all have just seen Tony, a witty, strong, actually amazing person. I'm completely impressed by everything that you said. I guess we can all see that you can live a normal life and do great things for the world, even if you have epilepsy and if there's a challenge in your life. I think we all have challenges in our life. I think that's definitely safe to say. My brother and I are very close, and I remember being a junior and a senior in high school and coming home and playing Mario every day until we could beat the entire game. And then, of course, finding out that we shouldn't play so much because it causes seizures. But, that was all before this happened. And then right around the time that I left for college, my brother had a very big, I guess what you would call a grand mal seizure, at school on the playground after they were playing, and he was 7, and just fell down, and nobody knew what to do, nobody knew what it was. It was really scary, obviously for us, because at that time we weren't educated about epilepsy, but it was scary for the entire school, because they didn't know how to react, and they didn't know what to do. And it wasn't like, okay, this kid's choking, so let's, give him mouth-to-mouth. It wasn't like, okay, this kid, has a burn, so let's put, Neosporin on it, or whatever. It was, we have no idea what's going on. Everyone was crying, screaming, freaking out. Let's call the fire department and the police department and everyone else, and it was a big mess. Anyway, so after being in the hospital and going through a lot of treatment and testing and everything, and discovering that he had a seizure, we found out that he had epilepsy, and they started trying to treat him, and obviously different medications is pretty much the only thing that we can do for this at this point. It hasn't been researched enough. We don't know enough about it. It's still a really confusing thing. But when it gets really serious, you have to go through surgery. And the thing about surgery that really bugs me is that they don't understand it well enough to do anything to fix, the problem or the area of whatever is wrong. All they know to do is just cut it out. So, luckily my brother's fine. He's not paralyzed or anything like that. He's totally normal. He's a wonderful kid, and I love him, and we're still really close. But he had to go through 3 different brain surgeries, and it's really tough. And I guess my biggest worry and the big thing about all of this is that I want it to get better, and I don't want it to be just stuck like it is with nobody knowing about it and everyone kind of pitching all their money and funding and support towards things that they know and that are obvious, like obviously AIDS and cancer and the big ones, the stuff that everybody knows about. Epilepsy is something that I never hear people talk about. I mean, it's not even something that, I don't know, a lot of people would know what it was. I had a friend saw me on the internet working on stuff, answering some of these questions for an interview. And I said I was doing something for epilepsy, and he was like, what's that? Isn't that like when you're crazy and you have to be committed to, a hospital? And I was like, no, not at all. Crazy. This is like my boyfriend's brother, actually. So, anyway, I think really the thing besides, raising money, of course, for research and that sort of thing is really important, but raising awareness just so these people can be like Tony and live a full life and do things and have the confidence to be open about who they are and to still have opportunities, job opportunities, a life. I think that's the main thing, and I guess we're starting that here, and I really, really appreciate all of you coming and listening and being involved. So thank you very much, and I hope we can do something great here.